Hello. How's it going? Let me just move the screen over. I'm a day early. And I'm over here now. So I kind of realized that in previous streams, I think I've been blocking the view of almost everything that I do in regards to materials and render settings and stuff that's happening down here on the right. So we're gonna shift a little to the left and hope that you can still see everything. So a lot has changed in our render since the last time I was here. And a lot of it is related to the light, but we also have a new little ghost kitty. I went ahead and remodeled that little cat into something that could float and also be animated down here. And what else did I do? What else? Oh, I screamed at lights a lot. So there's a lot of lighting chaos that was happening in the last stream, to put lightly, I guess, where I could not figure out how to get cast shadows to work and then also behave. So a part of that was my fault. I think at some point I took this material, if I can find where I put it, and I don't know why. I think I was trying to make this for a second and make it use the same material, but regardless. This alpha slider was pulled down, which caused some weird shadow behavior like this. So once that was fixed, everything else in the shader I think is the same. Yeah, I don't think we've changed anything in our shader, but we did change. Okay, attribute. Yeah. We did change the shadow settings themselves, because when we did get shadows back, hi Zergling, I'm just catching up on everything that happened over the weekend. I'm just running right through it. I'll probably repeat it a bunch of times, but anyway. Right. The shadows were blurry and soft, while the light casts were nice and sharp like this. Which was not ideal. So let me try to find a good shadow cast here. Let's look at this window light that's being cast. Oh, that's something I did. I cut a hole in the back of our render so that I could separate this and have the light shine through it. And then, just in case people want to know how to do this, I have a sunlight that is pouring through the window, and you just grab the thing that you want to have not affect the light. In this case, our window glass. I didn't want it to interrupt the light stream coming through, but I did want it to be an opaque object because I did not want to deal with that. So I grab that object and then grab the sun that will be affecting it, and you can bring up the light linking through Control L, and you can tell it to include or exclude the receiving of light or the blocking of light. So in this case, we wanted to exclude it from blocking the light. So this, and that helped us to get an opaque object to not interrupt a stream of light coming through the window. And there's that. But yes, the shadow settings themselves on the lights, and now there's a lot of them. It was something to do in the shadow cast here of any light you can grab, just taking this number down as far as you can go is affecting the softness of this light. It's really hard to tell without getting up close now that I've tuned everything else up. But yes, we're going to pull that in for some sharper shadow. There we go. Filter and resolution limit. Now the filter, I might leave it. I've gone back and forth about this one a bit. Just a little bit, you know. Where did I have it before? 0.60, let's try 0.40. Because you can see that it's casting in these little pixels. It has to have some kind of resolution, right? But that is what was determining the shadow softness. So when you are trying to get this look, be sure to mess with that until you get it to match your lights. I'm still not 100% on the position and affectation of the lights themselves, but I have fussed with it back and forth quite a lot, and I'm at the point now where I'm willing to let some of it just let it live until I know better what I want from lights. I think most of what I did was going back and forth with a position of like some detail lights, like if these candles are casting little balls of light, the fireplace has a little light cast, and the window. And I go back and forth with the intensity of these because I want this window cast to be sharper, but I don't know how to do that without dropping the vividness of everything else around it. It's just not bright enough on its own. And in the shader, it is in the pure white category. It's in here, in this slot. I guess I could remove a few. I guess that kind of helps. But I like this kind of gradation of space between our shadowier shapes and our brighter ones. And I'm also trying to keep an eye on all of our other areas of light to make sure that I'm not losing something somewhere else. So there's a lot of staring at various highlight areas to make sure that I'm in the right spot. But I kind of think it helps. So I'm going to fiddle with this for a second before I get to what I actually wanted to get to today. Okay. Maybe that's good enough. Can I bring our shadow shapes even lower? Is there even anything hanging out in this category? Like if I remove it, does anything happen? Visibly, no. So does not appear to be changing much. I try to find the darkest areas while I'm affecting this. Seemingly not affecting all that much. So delete it. Pull this further in. Oh, man, it's very precision control. This thing. Maybe I can more evenly space it. How's that? I wish that menu wasn't so big and hanging out right there. Okay, maybe that'll help. All right, let me drop this value. Around there, maybe? Okay, where does that light catch? Here? I'll have you be about there. How's that? I think I've lost the shadow from the table and chair somehow. I'm trying to figure out how it happened. I don't think that's changing anything really. Is it the top-down light that kind of happened here? Like if I increase your intensity. Yeah, your shadows are there. It's just not being caught or separated enough. As if it's not intense enough. Oh, goodness, I could be at this all day. Didn't I have like a top-down area light that I was messing with for a minute? Here we go. Light GC. I'm going to scale it way up. Well, scale it up in here. And then increase the watt. I think I either get to have a nice top-down shadow as if I have a ceiling light or a window light, but I don't think I'm going to successfully have both without fighting this for a long time. So I'm going to let it go. It was not the goal for today, was to mess with that anymore. Let it go. Stop messing with it. I came here to do something else. And I'm going to open a new Blender and I I had a little node set up I wanted to mess with. I made a collection called Particube Plant. I made a little cube over here that has another copy of the shader that we have on everything else. And this guy is going to be our reference for a new collection that I'm going to call Planter, or article holders, I guess. And so, with our particle in its own collection and our particle holders over here as their own collection, I'm going to add probably a round cube. That'll do, I think. It doesn't matter what material this thing has or anything like that, really. It just needs to be a shape. Hi, a likable paper. Is this Minecraft? It's getting closer to Minecraft, but still, Minecraft is not the be-all, end-all owner of voxel art, so alas. We can have a bit more higher resolution. Our windows are not as tall as we are. Though in this particular case, they are still pretty tall. Grab that along the X, and let's move it up into our planter. Scale it in. We can probably just hang out in the material view for now. That should be close enough. There. Turn on the full view here, and I'm going to grab all of these faces, and they can go far, far away. It might be good enough. Okay. And this is where we're going to make our geometry nodes happen. And let's just make a new one. I think I don't have anything. Yeah, I don't have anything. And we'll start building our particles. I've heard that in the upcoming Blender 5 that this is going to be way easier to do, and I really look forward to that, but for now, we're going to do the good old Blender tutorial way, or a Blender Guru way of making a simple particles across the surface. And what I did, instance on points. And that's going to be in there. And it's going to blink like that. And we want it to happen across the outside of it. So distribute points on faces. And we're going to call our collection to be the thing, which is collection, I think info. And I'm grabbing our, I think Particube Plant. Pull that into instance. I think we wanted on disk. And what else did I need? It should have been, coulda, shoulda, woulda been it, right? We just need to instance the thing on points. Yeah, it's not actually happening. Let me try to think. Why would that be happening? Or why wouldn't it be happening? Maybe it needs more density? No, that's not it, I think. I don't think that's it. Disk points to points. Yeah. Rotate, rotation. Should just be affecting the spin of things. Oh, I think I have to apply a few things. So, to probably you, and make sure that you are also applied in a way that you can be seen. Nope, that ain't it either. Oh, why are you being called over there? Or is it not actually in there? Okay, party cube green exists and is there to be called on. And our round cube is calling on it. But even if it had no instance, it should have some amount of points. Right? But I'm not seeing it. Oh, there we go. Okay, separate children, reset children. I guess you have to have both of those on. What does that mean, really? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So make sure those two boxes are ticked. What else did I do? I need there to be a lot more of them. Like a whole bunch more. And the next thing I need is for them to be much smaller. Well, I'm going to grab your scale down. Control A, the scale. That seems better. Now, I want to mess with your rotation and your scale quite a bit. And so to do that, I'm going to put, I think, yeah, randomize into your rotation. And another one into your scale. And from here on, I don't think we need to actually see the original geometry. It's only there to hold place for us. Your minimum should probably be a bit higher than that. Your density should be way higher than that. It seems kind of alright, but it still seems kind of uniform in its rotation. That seems a little wackier. Now, I'm just going to scale that up a little bit. Maybe scale it flatter. And maybe we can start messing with the geometry to pull this into place. I want there to be a little bit of a dip in certain areas. And like maybe it grows a bit higher, closer to the sun there. I'm going to extrude a few sections that might dangle. Maybe it should be closer to the view of the window here, where we extrude a little bit. There we go. And extrude it a little bit so there's more surface to spawn those particles on. And maybe another one over here near the back. Or actually at the back. Yeah, like that. There we go. Now we got some particle plants. I'm gonna make sure to save this time around because I crashed it last time. It was my fault, but still. And we can start to mess a little bit with the color. I'm just going to go into our little instance of particle here. And in vertex paint, grab something close to the color and start bringing it way down. Control X to set it. Still quite bright. Is that a little better? Seems a little better. Oh, that's a lot of geometry though. Oh, I bet I can fix that. Just gonna delete these faces. Grab that. And fill it. Solid fill. Okay, delete those faces. Give it a solid face fill. Oh no, that's not what I hoped. Can I dissolve those vertices? Nope, just these. That should help. You know what? I realized that I am way overthinking this. Just look, give me another cube. Whoa, crazy. Oh, because it's coming out of there. Okay. Is this the appropriate way to do it? No. But I don't want to rebuild everything, so this is all I'm gonna do. Hi, Jojo. Lurking is always welcome. I hope you feel better. I hope you get some caffeine or some rest. All right, now into vertex paint. We apply, and I think we're good to go. And now it's way less dense in geometry over there. I think that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just leave it at that. We can put some flowers, probably. Particle leaves or holders. This one needs to say. And this one's going to be Particube green. I'll just duplicate it. And this one will be cube. What's a flower color that could go here? I guess pink. Into vertex. We'll grab a little pink. And Control X to apply. Yeah, it's pink. Thought I lost it for a second. Maybe that'll do. And under you, I could just make a new object. New object, new tree, less distribution. Or stack another one. Really enjoying the colors, I'm glad. Trying to think of how I want to do this. There's our shader. Not shader, our geometry nodes. Okay. I want to call multiple instances, but I want them to have different behaviors. So I might just copy this and adjust the behavior. But I'm also kind of realizing I don't want it to happen all over the surface of the plant, only in targeted areas. So I'm just going to add, I'm just going to add another object. Doesn't matter, it's not moving. Under holders, I'm going to put in another round cube. Does not need that much. And put that into place. And just grab the parts we don't need and get rid of them. I think I only really want the top. So even more of it. All of these can go. Ah. Oh, what just happened? What just happened? I didn't hide it. It wasn't Alt-H. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. You know what? It was not so far since our last save. I'm just going to reboot. I don't want to fight this. Whatever misclick that was. Okay, we've got our pink party cube. I'll try not to do whatever that was again. Add a round cube. Remove the excess. Scale it down. And now we're only grabbing faces and pressing delete on those faces. So far, so good. And I wanted to move those faces closer to the origin. And now we will make a new tree. Flowers, that's all I'm calling it. Let me switch over to here and just copy that. Or really just all of this. Think. Fine, I'll do it this way. And you are going to be our pink party cubes. Now, a smarter me could probably make this happen in little floral clusters, but I'm not that person. So I think what I'll actually do is I'll jump back into the mesh here. And I am going to extrude some clusters, separate them, and then destroy the original shape. Let me see if that'll work. Let me just extrude this like a couple way over here. And then can I grab coplanar and do it by that? Nope, no coplanar. Okay, fine. And I'll delete all the faces. And add a little cube. Not there. I kind of wish I could just generate it at the origin that I'm after, you know? That's fine. Now we can make our flowers in clumps. Is that random enough feeling? I don't think you need to be so dense and small. Let's drop that down like a lot. And your minimum scale can be a lot higher. Minimum scale 1, and then go higher with this one. There we go. Got a nice little flower arrangement. Is that what? I got absorbed and then I missed the question. What was what? Oh, no worries, no worries. Okay. The next little thing that I want to have cast particles is this guy. Just like some herbs, I guess. So I'm not sure how I want to do it exactly. I might replace the mesh or a lot of the mesh. Yeah, okay, I think this is what I'm gonna do. To make a new collection. And this one's going to be herb strands. And another one that's going to be not inside it. And that's going to be, I don't know, purple basil leaves. Or something, right? Copy that into there. And as for the strands of herbs, I think I'm just going to make a few objects in the same space. Right, okay. Like a cube that is scaled everything on except for the z-axis. So we get a nice strand. And I'm just going to pull that into place. And what else? Yeah, let's just jump into edit mode. Scale, Shift Z. And I'm only going to have these appear where there's going to be like a deviation from the object. So I think I'm going to take this main object here and not that. Delete it all the way up to here. So that this guy can come out of it. Like that. It doesn't matter, no one's going to see it from the bottom. And I'm going to make all of it flush with it, I think. Nah. We'll give you our little material duplicate. And vertex paint you. Or not, I guess, if it doesn't want to let me. What happened there? Should be fine. Fine, I'll go out of edit mode. Make a new material. And then assign you. And go into vertex paint. And assign you with the color of white. If it will allow me. You know what? I don't feel like fighting. I don't feel like fighting you. You get to be deleted. I'm just gonna duplicate this guy. There. No more fighting. Where did I mess that up? Should be working. There. And we have our strand. We're getting there. And now some of these don't need to be as long. I'm just grabbing the bottom face and sliding the vertex up on a few of them, so they're not all the same length. Does that seem about right? Now, all of these guys can probably be joined. Yep, okay, joined. And then we'll make another geometry node that we'll call herbs. And we'll paste the same guy in here. Blink. And replace that. But in this particular case, we actually do want to use join geometry, because I want those strands to stay there. And the next thing I want is to take this guy, paste them in there, and I'm going to tell our little strands to call on that collection. Purple basil leaves. And let's see. I actually don't need that. We're just going to take this guy. In your vertex paint, I'm going to set you to something a bit more purple basil-y. Seems about right. And the next thing I want is probably to affect your weights, so you're not getting particles all the way down. And try to remember how to do that. I'll open my little reference file. And I think I had that under here. This is where that named attribute comes into play. Link into the density factor. And I'm just going to call it herb density. I'll make a vertex group, I think. Was that it? Yeah, a vertex group. And it's called herb density. And that should do it. Now we jump into weight paint and start painting our herbs back on there. Closer to the ends. I'm realizing I might have to do a little subsurf or get some loops cut into there. It kind of works, but there's not a lot of vertexes for it to grab onto. You see what I mean? It's only grabbing on the these little ends because that's all it has to grab onto. Which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's also not ideal. Oh, you've already got one. Oh, it's a little hard to see like this. There we are. Now this should give us a little bit more. With the high strength but no weight, I want to make sure nothing near the top gets touched. I'm going to try to remove down here near the bottom. There we go. We've got a little bit of herb cluster. What other particles did I want? That might be it. Because I think the next kinds of particles we want are going to move around. So we're going to have to actually use particle systems and not geometry nodes. Which means looking at a little thing here. I had a little reference. I just need to check that reference. I guess we should make a new collection that I'll call particle players. And I'm going to add a little plane. And this is going to be our fireplace. Probably want it a little lower. And it's going to emit upward. Right, like that. Maybe it could be a little bigger on this way. I don't know. We'll start with that. And what comes next? We'll make our little particle reference. Fire particles. I'm going to paste that in here. Fire orange. And maybe copy that a couple of times. Let's grab a good fiery color. I think that'll do. And a few more. So even further yellow. A high heat yellow. Which makes me realize this guy needs to be way more in the orange camp. Oh, I'm still in the wrong guy. Hold on. Here we go. Now you are going to be yellow. And this one's going to be our red. Or red-orange, really. Hopefully that'll be enough. Now our player needs to reference it. Don't know if that works, really. Or if I did something. Is it not going at all? Doesn't look like it. Hmm. I think I've done something wrong, but I'm not sure what. So I'm going to take a look really quickly. Where are our fire? There they are. Okay. Still nothing. Still nothing. I feel like I am crazy. I should be seeing particles, but I'm not sure why I'm not. Oh, okay. Was it added to the wrong thing? Yep. No wonder. Well, I see it now. So that's a good sign. And then we grab our collection. Fire particles. A little bit of randomness. I wonder why it spawns like that. Let me try this. Still wants to move downward. That's why. Oh, I can't go negative with it? Fine. I have not messed with these at all, so this could be a while. The thing is that I want it to burn upwards. I would like for the fire to go up. That's weird. Let me just go with like way less frames for a little bit. It really is in the weight. I need it to not act as if it has weight. But it still wants to come back down. As if it has weight. Keyed. No, not keyed. Trying to get something. Is it possible to set negative gravity? I tried to set the mass to a negative number and it wouldn't let me. Velocity doesn't seem to do anything. No matter what I do. This might have to be something I look at off scene because, like, it's not made for laymen to understand. This might require research, as most things in Blender often do. If I could just get it to stop falling downwards, even when it has no weight. I don't understand why it would be built that way. There we go. Shut that off. Okay, goodness, found it. Found the gravity. Now we're on the right track. Yeah, okay. Here we go. So I want this to happen quite quickly. And then for the lifespan of those particles to not be as long. I don't think it's drag or damp that I'm looking for. Okay. Getting closer. Still living too long. Now what? Mm-hmm. This could go on for so long. I'm not sure how I want to do that. That's something I'm noticing. is that I don't want them to be connected to that light. Not you. There, that guy. So in here, I'm going to make sure they are excluded. They shouldn't be affecting it. Is it not selected? It is. Okay. Do I have to do it like one at a time? So I'm calling this and then the light. Yeah, okay. It's still blocking the light. So what now? How come it worked before? Is it tied to this? Yes, okay. So the particle emitter is what is controlling the light link between, so it's not the particles themselves. Okay. I guess that can make some things less troublesome to deal with. So I don't have the most behavioral fire for right now, but I think I'm going to have to look up later how to find like what the good behavior settings for fire is, because there's a lot of sliders. I understand almost none of them. So I'm just going to leave the fire alone and quit poking it. What else can we animate? We have our little ghost kitty, but we also have this little skull that's going to jump in and out. So I'm going to go back to the timeline. Just push that out and insert a keyframe. Well, no, not like that. Let me just use K. Probably just this. Is that about where I want him to be? Is he really centered up? Yeah. Cool. Okay, cool. And then another keyframe. Okay. And then he'll stay there for a bit. Okay. Let me just check it out. And then he stays here. And maybe around here he can start looking. And then maybe he stays there for a little bit. So I'll give him another one. And then I'm just going to mess his rotations up again. And make him look at us. And then after a while, maybe he goes like, maybe nods his head and then turns and leaves. You love the skull? I'm glad. I hope this works. Okay, so he was just staring at the camera. No, okay. Location, scale. Now, this is going to happen all out of time, but I just want to see if it worked. There we go. Awesome. I think everything from there is just going to be based on the easings. Shouldn't that be snapping back? Hmm. I wonder why it's not doing it. Let's start with just automatic easing and see what that does. Maybe this needs to be a snapback. Yep, that's what it was. Okay. No, that's way too sudden. Hmm. I kind of thought there was a way to see the easings and then control them. Is it you? It looks like it is. I'm going to be so honest, I have no idea what I'm looking at. Ah, easings are hard. Yeah, I'm afraid to mess with this. But what I want is to have the snapback happen in reverse. Like from here. How do I do that? Forget it. I'm going to manually do it. All right here. Okay, it just needs to be longer. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. That might be a good point to wrap it up at. We got a few things done. Got our particle plants, got our particle fire, and got a cute little skull to come out and check out the room for us. And then maybe tomorrow we can animate, or we can correct the fire, animate the candles. Then we just have the ghost and the bat and the book pages to animate. And I think that's it. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you'll have a great rest of your day. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a good one.